everybody, my name's Trent Ford, candidate for Division 3. Thank you for the invitation to speak on behalf of which will hopefully be my constituents. Firstly, an introduction, who am I? Probably, a lot of you's probably never seen me around before. Some people have. I've been around for quite some time. Born and raised on a farm in Victoria, on a dairy farm. Pretty unglamorous upbringing, nothing flash. Basically, I was brought up with a belief of if something's not right, you speak up and say it's not right. There's no two ways about it. So that was something I was brought up with from a very young age. So I moved here when I was 18, so 28 years ago. So I'm technically probably not officially a Redlander as yet. I've got to do my 30 years, but I'm working on it. I've got 2 more years to go. So I've been in Thornlands for 28 years so far. Family wife, I've got 2 boys, a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old. Myself and my wife, I've actually was in prep with my wife, so we've got a little bit of a history together, and we've now been together since we were 18, so we're going on a lot of years, 28, 29 years. So I've certainly understand the values of family and raising a good family and putting the time and effort in to get the results from them. My background since I've been here, I was actually a postie for 21 years, started in 2001, finished up in 2022. That gave me an opportunity to actually spend a lot of time on the ground talking to Redlanders, 20 years of it. So you sort of get the undercurrent of what people want. Yes, you can door knock and you can find out a lot about what people want, but ultimately being in the community for this long, I've sort of got a good feeling of what people want, and that's how I've come to a lot of my conclusions. So I've lived in Thornlands since 1996. Both my children actually go to school here in the Redlands. One goes to Sheldon and the other one goes to Carmel College. Coaching kids, that's been a big passion I've had since my kids were really young, and they'd look around to nominate a parent to coach, and then all of a sudden I'm coaching the soccer team, and then I'm coaching the basketball team, and then the cricket team, because everyone sort of turns around and looks at me and it's like, okay, we've nominated Trent again. So I've spent an awful lot of time around our youth. I think that's very important for our future generations, is that we do take the time to put into our youth. I'm not going to have a big campaign slogan of youth crime and fighting crime. I believe in youth engagement. You know, the youth are the result of our community, not of one person's policy. So we can make a change as a community to the outcomes of our kids. That's in the reality of what I've seen. My core values. Now this comes about from all these years of talking to people at their front door, really at your most vulnerable. Most people will really open up to you when they're at their front door about what issues they have locally. So a few of the very big ticket items that really get to people is the consultation and communication. We're not asked. We vote for these people, and for 4 years you don't hear from them. They make the decision on this development, on this gets done, or they're going to bulldoze this whole block, and then we all look around and go, well, nobody actually asked us. There was no communication, or they'll vote on an issue, but no one actually asked me, you know, do I want a whitewater rafting park? My member never came and asked me. It just was done. So I'm a big believer in coming and talking and asking my constituents primarily, because they're the people who will vote me in, and they're the ones who I will be personally accountable. But I need to make decisions based upon what will be best for the Redlands as a whole as well. So first is going to be the constituents. That's the people who vote for me. Next is going to be Redlands as a whole. Is this going to be a good decision or a good outcome for the Redlands as a community? And I think a lot of that has been lost over the years. The second one is financial transparency. We seem to have lost it. Deals are made without, again, consultating us, and we're just told that's just the way it is. I think it should be a lot more open and transparent on where our rates are going. We're not told, we're not communicated with, we're just told that's how it is. They have to go up and we just deal with it. Infrastructure and development. Infrastructure and development is not keeping up with the development. So I get that the state government is pressuring the council to put more houses in, but where are the roads and the infrastructure to support these new families coming here? That is a very big issue. We are not getting we get the infrastructure 10 years later. So I think we need to reverse it. We need to slow down. Let's get the infrastructure sorted first to catch up. And then we move forward and look how we have to accommodate the state government. It's not something we can just stand, shut the doors and say no one's coming in. We have to accommodate. We're being forced to, but we have to do it responsibly. That's a big thing. Leadership and accountability. That's probably going to touch the nerve here with a lot of people. I could stand up here and promise the world I'm going to get new street, I'm going to get new traffic lights for your street, you're going to get a new swimming pool, and then once I get elected you're not going to see me again for 4 years. And that seems to be the underlying current, not from all councillors, but that's certainly been a lot of what seems to happen. Promises are made to get the vote, and then you never see them again. So I'm not going to make fancy promises of fixing the world and I'm the silver bullet for everything. That's not me. My fifth one is my most passionate one, is youth engagement. They're tomorrow's leaders. As a community, that's what we should be investing our time and energy in, is our kids. And if we can't, or we don't have the ability to, council should help support that. We have great facilities for kids 10 to 12. 2 to 12, but it's sort of, we don't have a rec centre, we don't have a youth centre, a roller skating rink's gone, we don't have a bowling alley. Oh, we do have a bowling alley, but we don't have much else apart from that for our youth to go to. Skate park's not a safe place for a kid to interact at 9 o'clock at night on a Friday night. The last one I'll quickly touch on, which is probably an underlying topic for everyone, is Toondah Harbour. Because people are going to ask this, so I'll get it out there right now. Firstly, infrastructure. We don't have the infrastructure to support it. We don't have the roads to support 8,000, 10,000 cars, whatever it is, coming in and out of Cleveland. Do we want 20 years of trucks going in and out of Cleveland? We don't have a highway into the Redlands. We have arterials. So we're very unique opposed to a lot of other shires or cities that have highways that can connect them, get the trucks off the road. We don't have that here. So infrastructure is a big one. Number 2, wetlands. Do I personally think it's great that we're going to destroy a wetland to build houses? No, it's not a smart move. I don't agree with it. Number 3 is the ability for me to influence the change. Can I get up here and promise you I'm going to stop Toondah Harbour? I'm probably not going to be able to stop it. I don't have the influence. I'm not Tanya Plibersek. I'm not at a federal level. It's gone beyond us. We can advocate, and I'll definitely advocate to not get it, but I'm not going to stand up here and say, I'm going to fight for it, we're going to get rid of it. It's gone beyond us now. That's the reality. Number 4 is, if it does go ahead, what I'm going to do is make sure we get the best outcomes for us as a community to deal with this massive inconvenience. Not only the destruction of our wetlands, but we've all got to still live here while this goes on. So that's basically the Toondah Harbour signed off. I'm not going to promise stuff that I can't deliver, but I definitely don't agree with it. What do I stand for in summary? Basically ensuring that we're getting better outcomes for all Redlanders, not just a select few, that the benefit to the whole community is taken into account when decisions are made. Now that's going to be a range of topics, but as an overarching value, that's something I look for. I'm going to look for social returns. What is the community getting out of this benefit? It doesn't always come down to a financial sum. You're making X amount of money, that's going to make X amount of return. What benefit is the community going to receive from that policy? Is it going to be better, have a social return, that we're going to get better outcomes from our kids? Our elderly are going to have better facilities. It's not necessarily always measurable in a financial term. So that's one point. Improving the youth facilities, I've already touched on that. Responsible development. We all know it's just coming and it's coming and it's coming. We've got streets you can only park one car on the road. They've got nowhere to park themselves. The caravans are out on the streets. That's not responsible development. In my eyes, I think people need to have more space to live. I'll call out poor behaviour. Basically, if it's not right, it's not right. So there's obviously been issues over the last 10, 15 years where some councillors have spoken out, yes, but most of them just stand back and don't say anything. So yes, I will call it out. If it's not right, it's not right. So I may be in an awkward position, but that's basically a summary of me. If anyone's got any questions, I'd love to hear from you.